you. Thank you so much. The only reason why I was wearing the mask every time for so many photos and everything is because I'm on a book tour and I have obligations from here. I go to Seattle and Portland and Menlo Park and Dominican University and outside San Francisco. So please forgive me for wearing my mask, but I just can't get sick. You understand, I'm sure, because I'm obligated to be there. I want to thank you so very much. And I can hear, I'm kind of popping. Sorry. Is that better? I think I can hear the tone. Can you hear me? Is that good? Okay. This is going boom. Okay. Sorry, I can't get started. Thank you so much, Monkey. You're an amazing singer. Yeah. I had no idea she records. But let me tell you something else. She said, I know that she is so on top of everything. She was emailing me and keeping on top of everything. And she runs this huge organization. Kudos to you, Monkey. And thank you, Charlie, and thank you, Douglas, for your wonderful words and all the work that you do. I was so moved by your story, Charlie. Thank you for what you said. And now, I wanted you to know that since, and thank you, Vicki. Thank you, Vicki. She's all over NBC. You have to watch her. She's indefatigable. She works like crazy. She's as crazy as I was. So, but before we go on, I just wanted to say, I am the typical aging Asian woman who, have you ever seen this cartoon of how an Asian woman ages? You gotta Google it. It's hysterical, right? It's hysterical. Because we start off in our 20s and we're like, and then in our 30s and then in our 40s we're like, and then in our 50s, menopause hits. And we start shrinking and shrinking. And our faces go like, we have these big round moon faces. And then we shrink so much that we're like this. And that's what's happened to me. I am shrunk 3 inches, and I can't walk anymore because I wore 4-inch heels because I wanted to be eye to eye with the men. So now I've ruined my feet, I have to wear sneakers, and I'm even shorter. I come up to Maury's navel, seriously. And I come to women that, the 2 women behind me, one of them is Richard Louis' sister, right? Are you here? Yes. No, where is she? Where's Richard Louis' sister? There you go. So, how did Richard end up so short and you ended up so tall? Oh, you have high boys. Sorry. So I go titty high to women now, and it's awful. But thank you so much for coming. I want you to know that I'm incredibly grateful to be here. My parents were born in the early 1900s. My father was born in 1909. My mother was born in 1911. And they grew up in old China, pre-communist China. My mother's, they were such traditional people that my mother's feet were bound. Their marriage was arranged. She was only 12 and he was 14. And then they were married, they were engaged at 12 and 14. And then they were married at 17 and 19. They had never seen each other before until the day they got married. And as you well know, women women, after they're married, have to go live with their husbands' families under their roof, the roof that they were born under. And so my mother had to leave her beloved parents and brother and sister and had to go live with strangers for the rest of her life. Neither of them were really happy about this arrangement, but they stuck together until the day they died. It was a tradition that kept them married. I shudder to think, how difficult it was for both of them, because they did not have a marriage based on love. My mother and father had 9 children in China, 5 of them were infants, and they died as infants because infant mortality was incredibly prevalent at the time. Of those 5, 3 were boys, and as you well know, boys are coveted in China, and girls are not. We are considered worthless, useless, or whatever. And the grandparents were not happy. My parents were not happy about it, but they never talked about it. When they came to the United States in 1945, I was the 10th and the last one born, the only one born in the United States. I was born in 1946. I'll do the math for you so you don't have to figure it out. It's 78. It's amazing. Good old America, the only place you can get applause for being old. When I was born, my parents said, another girl. My father enjoyed writing letters to all of my sisters and me. I had four older sisters, and he would write letters to us to sort of memorialize his history and thoughts that he had. He'd put them down on paper. One of the letters I came across, he said, maybe you could carry on the name Chung. And I really took that as a mission, that I would be the son that my parents never had. And I would try and take the name Chung and pass it along in some way or another. And I think I took his mission seriously. And that was one of the reasons why I decided to write the book. Because he had written part of his memoir, just a few pages, telling of the harrowing tale that they had to get out of China. And he was quite clever. My mother was incredibly strong and did not get any credit the way many women do not. I'm looking around the room and I see all these beautiful women. Women, Asian women in particular, age well. And you look fabulous, and the men, you're fine too. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with being a man. I'm married to one. Maureen, they say, the audience does. So anyway, what was so significant was this mission that he gave me. And I think I took it seriously because I took filial piety seriously. And I was a very, very good daughter. My 4 older sisters wanted to be more American because they were born in China. And because I was born in the United States, I wanted to be more Chinese. So I was always the dutiful one. Eventually I became, when I was only in my 20s, I became the breadwinner in our family because my father had retired. So I supported them for the rest of their lives. Very much like Barbara Walters, who is the breadwinner of her family. And I think we both felt the same way. We needed a job because we needed a paycheck because we were supporting our parents. So in many ways, I really did become the son that my parents never had. Then is Connie Wong, and she, it was just before COVID. Even though you may believe that I had this illustrious career, I can tell you what you already know is that we wear our race on our face, and it doesn't matter where we've been, what we've done. Everyone knows that I'm Asian, and you're Asian. So I was actually going to the corner manicurist in New York. This was before COVID. And I had just gotten an award called Giants of Broadcasting. And I was thinking, well, I'm not Chuck Liver after all. And I got another one called Woman of the Year. And I thought, wow, I'm really kind of, I thought people, have no idea what my name is. But these people, these wonderful organizations remembered me. Giant Broadcasting the other giants of broadcasting were Walter Cronkite, Johnny Carson, and Lucille Ball. So you can imagine it's this vaulted group. I went to the manicure place, which is primarily Korean women. I mean, all the manicurists are Korean. And I walk in, I'm standing there hanging up my coat, and a white woman comes up to me and says, I only want a manicure. How long do I have to wait? Whoa. You know what I'm saying. So, right after that, I get this call from a young woman. I get an email. She blind emailed me. Her name is Connie Wong. And she was born in communist China. But her parents came out, they settled in the Midwest. She's only 3 years old. And her parents say, we need to give you an American name. What name would you like? And out of the blue, she only knows what she sees on television. She said, Connie or Elmo. Fortunately, her parents chose Connie instead of the Muppet. She goes off to the University of California in Berkeley. She's very smart. And the half the population is Asian because we are very smart. And she's in the cafeteria and somebody says, hey, Connie. And half the room turns around. So she said, she thought, this is weird. She went to get her email address for college, and she finds that there are a lot of Connies. And she discovered this sisterhood of Connies, untold numbers of baby girls named Connie after me. I'm truly beside myself, and I met many of the Connies. And I tell you, I believe that there is no crying in baseball. There's no, Tom Hanks was right in A League of Their Own. There's no crying in news. But when I met those Connies, about a dozen of them, for the New York Times opinion piece, you must Google it if you haven't read it. It's the New York Times Sunday opinion story called Generation Connie. It's just, she wrote it beautifully. Connie Wong wrote it. I just fell apart. I started crying and crying, and I couldn't stop crying because the Connies were crying too, and we were all bawling. It was the most wonderful thing. I want to thank you so much. My husband, Maury, who's been determining the paternity of every child in America. You are the father, you are not the father. Well, he actually has a wonderful vocabulary in that. He said, you're the Jackie Robinson of news. You're who you are. And I've come to believe that he was right. I never knew what I did or how I did it. I was just putting one foot in front of the other. And I wasn't thinking about legacy or anything of that sort. Now I've begun to embrace it a bit. But being Chinese, I can't I was born humble. It's very, very hard for me to get my arms around what's occurring with this memoir and what's occurring with the Connies and everything else, and everything you said, Charlie. I just, I'm flummoxed. It really, it's hard for me to embrace it. I've never been able to declare success, but I'm beginning to think maybe I did leave something behind. Not that I'm going anywhere, but I thank you so much, and I'm so touched. I mean, really touched. I remember Barbara Walters, she said, I'm touched, and I'm thinking, yeah. But I really, really am. Thank you.